What has your child done that is technically wrong, but you were proud of them for doing it? My young son was close friends with our 50-something neighbor. They were true pals. The neighbor gave him a spark plug tool and let him tinker with old cars in his yard. He also let my son drive his 1950 pink Cadillac, which sat on blocks. They talked about important things like being a good person, keeping tools in order, and washing hands. My son had no dad, and this man had no family, so they became each other's support in many ways. The neighbor got cancer and told my son he'd have to leave forever. They talked about whether he was scared and what would happen after. He didn't want anyone messing with his body. He wanted to be buried naturally, not embalmed, because he felt strongly about returning to the earth whole. Sadly, he passed before Thanksgiving. The ground was frozen, and no gravediggers were available, so the adults decided he'd have to be embalmed. My 6-year-old son overheard and was furious. He passionately argued, saying his friend would hate that. He declared he'd dig the grave himself, even if it meant missing Thanksgiving pie. His words worked. He convinced a dozen men in their best clothes to go to the cemetery and dig the grave by hand. It was technically wrong because he interrupted and pressured adults, but I was beyond proud. He stood up for his friend when no one else would. Even the priest changed his plans to honor the man properly. My son ensured his friend's last wish was granted, and that's something I'll always admire.